Tonight, das Team Sportscast Network presents Return to Castle Wolfenstein. You're dialed into TSN's 1944 RTCW coverage from the Cal Innights.
Oocha! Time for battle yet again, that's right. We are ready. Forget about the fact that we were about to shoutcast a scrim. That ain't gonna happen. Tonight is Phoenix versus Exile. TSN RTCW. I am Warwitch, and right here on the mic with me, Axis, no, Allied Shoutcaster.
Nope.
Justice. You're right, buddy. We're gonna bring our A game here tonight. It's happening. We're doing it. The TSN style. All you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Warwitch. We're about to ride this train. Ride this train? I mean boat. Oh, for the love. Well, it's boat as in sub, my friend. How's that for a transition? The map tonight, MP, sub, Warwitch. Why don't you give us a little rundown about Josh Boot?
You know, absolutely. One of my favorite maps, one of my favorite maps of all time. In fact, let's get the right music here in the background. A map that we've had the pleasure of shoutcasting myself 2 times tonight, 1 time successfully shot down the 2nd time, Mr. Smith. Good night. But here, Exile versus Phoenix, Das Boot, a very compact map that centralizes around a sub, an Axis sub that is used to raid the Allied shipping lanes. Really, an innocent... It's like a sailboat, really. No harm, you know, it's just a German sailboat. I don't know why the Allies are after it, Justice, but they want to take it out. Just a German sailboat. Anyway, the U-boat, that's the objective of the Allies, to take it down, to bring it down, to sink it down, to do everything to it down. Underwater, they need some water. And, very small, compact map. What it's all about in this map, you got to pierce... You've got your several doorways to go through. You plant the dynamite. You've got an objective forward flag spawn area. The Allies are on the offense. You've got to rush in, and all the action centralizes around the sub itself. A very difficult for the Axis, or very difficult map for the Axis to defend. The Allies have a faster respawn time. They're able to really flood in, and it's all about just how long you can hold off the enemy, Justice, not about if you can stop them, because if you're Axis defense and you're facing a good team, you're not going to stop them. It's not going to happen. Just give up the sailboat to the Allies. Game over. Back to you.
Yeah, so the defensive objective then is not really to hold the entire time, but just to scrounge and scrap and fight for every last second you can possibly get your hands off on Warwitch. Woo! Okay, we're going to start over here.
9.
The defense, really, we've seen a lot of maps, a lot of matches here on sub come down to really the last few seconds. Even tonight, we've seen a few rounds come down to 10, 5, 4 seconds left on the clock.
Absolutely.
We saw it happen with STX versus Darkside. We've seen it, I believe, in CK. I think you mentioned it happened a few times, a close game. So really, just even 1 second, Warwitch, can make a huge difference on a map like sub.
You know, really, it's definitely the case. Every second, every moment is the second that can save your team or ruin your team from disaster. That's what the teams are going to need to realize tonight, and we're going to incorporate that into our Keys to the Game segment here this evening. In fact, why don't I go ahead and load up that sounder, and we'll talk about the keys to the game tonight on TSN. The segment that you've been waiting for, the 3 keys to the game for each team to score a victory tonight. We just began to talk about it in a little bit, Justice. We left off on the topic of what one of those vital keys will be. We're going to pass it to you, and let's talk about it. What's the rundown? What keys are going to open those doors for victory for both teams?
Well, we're starting off on the Team Phoenix side. PHX, let's say they have the momentum going into this match, Warwitch. They're the team to beat here tonight. Now, Exile, an excellent team, probably one of the top easily in the West Coast. But PHX, really top-notch team. They lost in the championship of Cal Season 1 to Darkside. They have an incredible work ethic, Warwitch. They scrimmage almost every night. They bring their A game all the time, and they have a very talented lineup. Now, this rivalry, actually, this is not one that's known to most RTCW players. This rivalry between Exile and PHX started back in the days of Quake Urban Terror. Urban Terror for Quake 3, my friend.
Yeah,
where these two clans were the #1 and #2 respective clans, really all the time. Since they both got into the Urban Terror scene, these guys were always vying for the first and second spots. There's not a lot of love lost between these two teams, Warwitch, and I think tonight is just going to hopefully for us fans, hopefully for us people who like to see a little drama, a little action, and a little trash talking. Hopefully this will rekindle that rivalry and bring it back into the RTCW scene, because there's nothing like a good rivalry, my friend.
You know, classic.
So back to the keys of the game.
Yes, the keys to the game. What team?
Yes.
What team do you want to cover first? Which one are we going to talk about?
Let's start off with the PHX, because PHX, like Darkside last game, really this is their match to lose. PHX right now is overall the better clan for many different reasons. Probably the biggest one is that they just work harder and more often than the Exile teams. Like I said, these guys are always scrimmaging. Exile having some roster problems, having a little bit of lack of discipline in terms of the practicing and the scheduling and the scrimmaging here. So this is definitely PHX's match to lose. So like Darkside, they have similar keys to the game because they're in similar positions. #1 key to the game for PHX, my friend, again, is no mental errors. PHX cannot afford to give any kind of mental lapse. They can't afford to mess up. They can't make mistakes. They can't err in judgment, because one error, one mistake, can cost you the game on the map, Warwitch. One TK at the wrong time, and game over.
We saw it in Darkside versus Stickmin, an ultimate victory for Darkside 3-1. They made an error in probably what is going to be, what we'll talk about, the second key to the game here tonight for the Phoenix team. Don't underestimate your enemy. Overestimate them. Overestimate what you think they can do, and play them like you're playing the strongest team on the RTCW ladder. Play them like they're clan capital. Play them like they're Darkside. Darkside really got surprised versus the Stickmen. Stickmen, with an amazing plant time of 2:06 right off the bat, had the Darkside team saying, wait a minute, hold on, did the game start? What is going down? That is a big secondary key here tonight, is not for the Phoenix team to underestimate the Exile roster this evening.
Yeah, that's definitely #2 key. Like you said, Warwitch, they have to come out strong. They have to start and bring their A game right off of the bat, because this is a team, Exile, that's dangerous. They're experienced. They have a lot of skill. They have a lot of aim, and they have a lot of talent that carries over from Urban Terror, Quake 3, and other big name games where they've been top quality clans. You know what I'm saying? So if PHX lets Exile get draw first blood, it's going to be hard for them to regain that momentum, Warwitch. And that leads us into #3. And that #3, Warwitch, is the transition game. PHX needs to come out with a strong transition game. And I said this last time with Darkside. I'll elaborate on it again for you, because I know you forget these things, Warwitch.
From time to time.
Transition from defending the flag to defending the sub. All teams come out with a defense focused around preventing the allies from getting to that forward deployment flag right off the bat. Now, the difference is that a lot of teams get caught with their pants down. They'll get overrun at the flag and won't have enough time to get back into position to guard the sub, thus letting in fast cap times, like you saw, as you've always seen on sub. That's one of the big factors. So PHX really needs to nail that transition. They need to have good timing. They need to know when to just give it up and go back to the sub. And, you know, if they can do that, that's going to be a big stroke, and it's going to be a big key for their success here, Warwitch.
The 3 keys to the game are right there for the Phoenix team. You know, when the ball is hiked, don't fumble it. Now, it looks like we got about a 40-second start. I believe we might be going live. A very quick rundown for the 3 keys to the game right here. Pass it back to you.
All right. 3 keys to the Exile. Right, really quick here. Number 1, steps and flag. How can these guys defend the steps and the flag? If they can do one of the 2, that might be good enough. Really, to win against PHX, they got to do both. They got to defend the flag well. They got to defend the steps well. Can they do it? We'll find out. Number 2, leadership. Warwitch, it looks like the Exile team, unless he's using an alias, is missing one of their star players, Malik, a top-notch engineer for the Exile team, missing in action tonight. That's going to be a big hit for them, as he's a big part of their leadership team, as well as their skill. In that category, they're going to miss him. Number 3, A-game. Exile has to bring the A-game, Warwitch. We're live. Back to you.
You know, in the A-game, what you're talking about, let's do it right here. Let's bring the action.
Missing in action tonight. That's going to be a big hit for them, as he's a big part of their leadership team, as well as their skill. In that category, they're going to miss him. Number 3, A-game. Exile has to bring the A-game, Warwitch. We're live. Back to you.
You know, in the A-game, what you're talking about, let's do it right here. Let's bring the action. Let's make the magic happen right here. TSN Primetime, we're good. You're dialed in. If you lose connection, it's bad night for my cable. Oh, Panzerfaust right off the start for Burn Zone. Ow! See ya. Love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love that Panzerfaust. Man, nice stuff. Once again, if you lose connection to the server, just reconnect. Having a little connection problems tonight. The game is on. Once again, I do not start my log file. I have about 20,000 things to start at once. Justice and Warwitch coming at you here for our third and final map tonight. Now, very fast dealio for you. The Exile team on Axis and Phoenix on Allies incoming. And here they come. Justice, all you.
Well, Exile got pushed back at the flag right off the bat. Burnzone with a big Panzerfaust, help from his friends, cleared out that flag. The steps defense not so hot on the Exile team, allowing PHX to get in. They do have a plant on the front of the boat. Now, if they get this one and defend it, it's going to be a really fast time. And it looks like Exile's really pushed back. I don't think they've respawned yet. They have maybe 15 seconds to get back there. I don't think they're going to get a decent shot at defusing this Warwitch. They just got out of the respawn. Not a whole lot of time. But then again, Phoenix doesn't have a big presence. Oh! Burn Zone taking out Thorian. Love him or hate him, Thorian goes down. Plant remains. Sub goes down. Time is 1:44.
Nice.
What are your thoughts?
Nice time right there. 1:44 set on the clock as the incoming Phoenix team really demonstrate a nice set time. Once again, the time to beat tonight is the 1:32 set by Clan Capital in their game against Death Touch, but 1:44 is a remarkable time that you have got to admit is going to be extremely difficult for the Exile team to beat.
Yeah, it is going to be a hard for them to beat, and I say that also just because it looks like Exile maybe isn't as prepared as PHX, and we talked about that being one of the keys of the game. Exile coming out with the defense that really didn't work right off the bat. Their stairs didn't work, the flag defense didn't work very well, didn't hold them very long, and it resulted in that fast time. It leads me to believe that maybe Exile didn't scrimmage a lot of clans coming into tonight. However, they are a skilled clan, they have a lot of talent, and they can come back here and do this. Will they do it? We'll find out, Warwitch. 1 second, back to you.
Well, we're live, and here is the rundown roster. Phoenix, Gem, Lobot, Juntao, Mahler, Warbringer, Monster, and Burnzone versus Exile, Chrono, Thorian of Infamy, Disaster, Redefine, Triad, Gookie, and I guess Obliv right there. Justice and myself, Warwitch now. We've got incoming Dynamite Storage Door plan brought to you by the Exile team, and they are going to be marching their way in here in just a moment as they capture the central access room. The map is MP Sub. And we're about to start screaming and shouting on the mic tonight. 1:03 remaining on the clock. Exile better step in here fast and bring an A+ game if they're going to do it. Here come the incoming Exile members from the Territory Bull Chamber room. Oh, coming into a hallway of death and destruction as Burn Zone opens up with a Venom. You see a Venom right there. And just a moment later, the soldier, Gookie, with the Panzerfaust opens up the hallway. But the Panzerfaust explodes on the stair, and Burn Zone with the or rather with the Venom is not taken out. He's backed up by Phoenix Jim, the medic behind him, and I'll tell you what, Burn Zone is just riddling 1,000 holes into the woodworks and the metalworks of the floor below as Triad slips past him, throws a grenade up the stairs. He gets past right there. Nice grenade, but Burn Zone is still alive, really harassing all of the incoming members. We got about 16 seconds left, Justice. And that's about it for that round. It's not going to be any chance the Exiles seem to make a plan and really locking it down right here. Team Phoenix, 5 seconds remain. That's it. Back to you.
Yep, PHX taking the win, 1-0 in the first round here, Warwitch, but there's a lot of game left to play. As we've covered before in the last game, really, Sub is a unique map in that if a team gets the first... If the team draws first blood, and they get a really good time, the team that then has to beat that really good time generally fails to do so. However, they then come back in the beginning of the second round and tend to do another good time, even oftentimes faster than the one that they failed to beat. And this is just because the psychological advantage of a map that's fast like this, fast and furious, a lot of scoring, it happens all the time, Warwitch. I mean, Exile could very easily come out and plant a 140 here. Don't count them out yet. We have to see what they can do this round on offense with the full time on the clock, with the pressure off a little bit, and then we can make a little bit of judgment. But until then, don't count Exile out, Warwitch. And
the mic not turned on. The mic, it does nothing. Sound
CSN. The goggles, they do nothing.
9.
You know, I agree with everything that you said here tonight regarding what these teams are going to need to do to bring themselves and score themselves a victory. It's time for Exile now. They've got the full time on the clock as the Allied team. Now is their chance to really come hard and bring the game hard and set as fast a time as possible. But with Mahler right there hammering out the offense with a Panzerfaust and taking down 2 members of Exile, shake and bake. Gonna be hard for Exile to really sweep in when they are just obliterated. Justice, if you're in tiny pieces, you ain't coming back. I don't care how big your medic needle is. It's over. Back to you.
no metamorphine's gonna bring that back, Warwitch. Interestingly enough, the Allied team of Exile not making a play at the forward deployment. I believe that they're all going to filtration, so I'm going to swing around to the filtration side where I expect we will see a whole slew of incoming allies, my friend. It is indeed Lobot and Monster doing a good job at the filtration, taking out the Exile guys. Exile having a lot of guys there unable to capitalize on the mismatch, and Monster, oh man, brutalized the Exile incoming. Warwitch, I'm a little astounded. Exile brought the thunder, brought the noise, and were quickly dispatched with by the inferior PHX force. Back to you.
Well, you know what I'm seeing here? The Phoenix team being very aggressive in filtration. They're moving forward, and they're moving forward as a team, as a unit. Engineers, and here come the Allied Exile team up to the filtration. And wow! Disaster right there. Engineer is fighting for his life, taking machine gun fire from Monster, making revivals on Lobot. And wow, Monster as a medic is clearly dominating right there, but we've got a plant, yes indeed, and that plant brings the attention of Phoenix back to the sub. They had moved maybe a little bit too far forward. Nice grenade from Thorian right there. May save the game for Exile. Monster's a medic leaning over. We know we've got Warbringer right there. He's got the flyers out. Good save from Warbringer. Justice, pick up the action.
Thorian doing a great job defending that dynamite, defending that plant with 1-on-7, Warwitch was able to take out 2 or 3 guys, but in the end, the dynamite was defused. Kudos to Thorian, however. That's a hard job to do against the talented Phoenix team. Exile trying to plant on the front of the boat, unsuccessful. A couple here and there, little tit for tat, going in onesies and twosies on the part of the Exile team. Unable to come out with much, Warwitch. I think they've been dispatched with PHX back in control of the defensive sub area. They have the steps, and the Allies just now, Warwitch, are taking control of that forward deployment flag after a big Panzerfaust by the man Mahler. Back to you.
You know, very nice initial rush right there from Exile, switching things up, drawing the defensive attention of Phoenix back to the sub where it belongs, but now they are faltering, and it looks like Phoenix might be bringing a very hard game. We're now in the third pool chamber number 3, right here. We've got Goki all alone, but now backed up by Chrono. Goki falls into the pool as his blood sprays against the wall, adding the red paint to the cold gray walls of this Axis fortress. Burn Zone opening up again with the Venom, a wicked and terrible weapon, mowing down allied bodies. That is a beautiful thing to see. The bodies of the dead allies in the field as the Axis triumph here. Burn Zone now. We've got 802 remaining. Incoming revival right there. Chrono's down again. No, Chrono's still up. He's a lieutenant trying to get to the sub, but he's taking heavy fire from Monster. Justice, you've got to admit, Monster is just on fire. Wow.
Monster's definitely locking down that filtration side, my friend. There's no question about it. So far, doing a superb job on defense with the Phoenix team. The problem, however, for the Exile team is that they're not grouping up. They're not attacking in force. They're going in onesies and twosies. And it looks like we will have a plant on the front. Disaster, engineer for the Exile team, gets a plant in the front of the boat. Looks like the offense does have 1 or 2 guys here, but may not be enough to fend off the diffusing engineers from Exile, or from PHX. Warwitch, back to you.
Nice revivals going on. Oh, good night. Super revivals going on right there around the dynamite, but a grenade and a Panzerfaust blows the Axis clearly away. I mean, they hit the wall like flypaper. Boom! Damn, that's gotta hurt. Revived and then blown away. Brutalized as the sub goes down, but a time set to 5 minutes. Now, keep in mind, Phoenix can set the clock at 1:44. That is their fastest time so far. 5 minutes gives them about 3 times more the time than they possibly need. What Exile needs to do now is really step up the defense, Justice, because they have got to hold off this team for a long, long time. Back and live. You know the drill of tonight, TSN Warwitch unable to stay connected. It's like being impotent in bed. You know what I'm talking about. Japan's
I do know exactly what you're talking about.
It is limp.
I mean, no I don't.
Oh,
what?
Let's get into the game. Come on, here we go. Exile, Axis, Phoenix are the allied team, and I'm a little bit shaken by that disconnection right there. Oh, nervous and scared. Back to you.
Exile doing a fair job here on defense. They're holding on by a string, my friends. There is a plant. PHX Monster looks like Lobot got that plant down on the backside of the submarine. No Exile in sight. They have just responded.
Really step up the defense, Justice, because they have got to hold off this team for a long, long time. Back and live. You know the drill of tonight, TSN Warwitch unable to stay connected. It's like being impotent in bed. You know what I'm talking about. Japan's a
I do know exactly what you're talking about.
It is limp.
I mean, no I don't.
Oh,
what?
Let's get into the game. Come on, here we go. Exile, Axis, Phoenix are the allied team, and I'm a little bit shaken by that disconnection right there. Oh, nervous and scared. Back to you.
Exile doing a fair job here on defense. They're holding on by a string, my friend. There is a plant. PHX Monster looks like Lobot got that plant down on the backside of the submarine. No Exile in sight. They have just respawned. They're gonna have a decent shot at defusing. Phoenix not in force around the plant. Jim is the lone man medic trying to hold off that defusal. Redefined, crouching there. Looks like he's gonna get it. Taken out, but yes, his buddy Disaster able to pick up his slack. Oh, but we have a plant on the front of the boat too. Warwitch, not looking good, my friend.
Not at all.
There
just
goes
as
the
you
submarine.
said that, the double plant ensures another point for Phoenix here as they beat the 5 minutes on the clock, and the Axis sailboat goes down. I mean, what a crime! What a crime! Wow, 2-0.
Yeah, they snuck that one up on me even. I saw only the one on the end. Had no idea that they had planted one on the front. I thought Exile was going to be able to defuse it. What's with all these bitch-ass hoes? Asked Obliv. My answer is, I don't know. I don't know where all these bitch-ass hoes came from, but they're cramping my style, Warwitch.
They are.
Maybe that's the cause of all this connection problem. Looks like Exile has their work cut out for them now. They have to hold PHX as long as they possibly can. I don't know how long that's going to be. It looks like PHX probably got that last round in about 2 minutes and 40 seconds, maybe a little over 3, which is a decent time for them to hold. However, with Exile's offense, they're going to need to hold them around 4 minutes to really capitalize on anything here. PHX comes out strong and gets a fast time. I think it's going to be good game Exile. PHX takes the sweep. We'll find out, and don't count them out soon, Warwitch. Back to you.
Well, right before we begin,
TSN.
Is sauerkraut in mein Lederhose?
Here, on TSN.
welcome back. Phoenix versus Exile. Game number 3 tonight. Brought to you by the Cal Invites. TSN, sponsored by Speakeasy DSL. A lot of time on the clock. Axis, Exile, Allies, incoming Phoenix. How fast can Phoenix do it this time? Truly, we're going to find out in a moment. Exile now, defensive position around the sub. There's Redefine Exile. Burn Zone, Panzerfaust opening up again. And Warbringer MP40 taken out right there. He's down. No, he's alive. He's the one kicking the ass out there. And more incoming. Exile members now splitting up as they assault the sub from several sides. Now, do we have a dynamite plant? I could almost have sworn no. There's the dynamite plant right there on the submarine. Just what's going down?
Exile's stair defense, my friend, is what's going down. Phoenix able to easily overpower them, get the plant secured on the front of the boat. Looks like PHX is not going to let this one go. Exile team has maybe 3 or 4 members alive, but really when the plant is on the front of the boat, and I'm watching Burn Zone, a Panzer up in the grate, the cause is lost because it's just too easy for the Allies team to get back there and defend it. The ship sinks, my friend.
41. No! Does not beat the time of CK. CK still the reigning champions tonight with 132. Good try, Phoenix. But no. Gonna have to be a little bit faster to beat that time, 132. 141 still. What an amazing time and justice. The gods of war are clearly smiling tonight for Team Phoenix, who have always been known. They were considered for a short time to be the underdogs, but now anyone that goes against them realizes that you do not want to trifle and tread lightly with Team Phoenix. They can bring their best game at any given time, any given Sunday, and take a win.
Yeah, PHX, like we said, is the team to beat, and they came out strong, brought their A game. Exile didn't. A little bit of MM1 talk here. Looks like Obliv once again claiming that the Exile had 4 999s during that round, and I don't know if he's joking around or what, but it looks like maybe Phoenix did have the advantage there. However, I don't think the round will be replayed. Such as online gaming, all fair in love and war, my friend. We are live, 1:33 left on the clock, and you take it away, buddy.
1:33, that psychological talk that we discussed, going against a time set like that really demoralizes a team. If you can set that time, you feel good, but You know, if you're a team that sets that time of 1:33, it just empowers your defense to not to let someone beat that time. If they beat that time, it's like being pimp slapped in a back alley. You can't... 1:41 on the clock?
Yeah, you can't...
My God.
Like I said, you factor it takes 30 seconds to get that flag on a good time. It takes 30 seconds for the dynamite to blow. So, really, you're left with about 45 seconds with change, my friend, to get a plant on the boat and then defend it. It's not looking so good for a team. The fastest time thus far is 5 minutes, Warwitch.
You know, absolutely. They've only got 8 more seconds to get to the sub. It makes you wonder just how it is possible for a team to plant so quickly. And with 30 seconds down, that's it. That's it. I believe that will take us to 3-0. Justice confirms the score tonight.
Yep, Warwitch 3-0 PHX. Strong showing in their part. Not so strong on the part of Exile. Don't count them out. They're a top quality clan. They got top quality skills. They just need to get some top quality time in. They're not scrimmaging enough. They're not practicing enough, and it's really kicking them in the butt here.
You know, absolutely. Good games being exchanged, and we are out of time. 6 on 7. It looks like Exile played the remaining round right there with only 1 man down. Dropping very quickly, and it looks like the game is over. That will conclude the matchup of Exile versus Phoenix tonight. Let's record that score, and Justice and we're going to be back in a moment to talk about some of the games that have happened tonight, as well as talk about the X Factor and the most valuable player. All that happens here on TSN. Great time this evening, despite all the problems we've had. Ooh, back with more T-minus 27 seconds on the clock.
This worthless pile of junk still won't stop.
I think we need to crank it harder.
You've got it locked into explosive TSN. Return to Castle Wolfenstein action.
Hilfe! Medic! Alarm! Alarm!
Good game.
Back at live, congratulations goes out right here to Phoenix taking the 3-0 sweep tonight on TSN's Exile versus Phoenix coverage. RTCW Cal invites. What a show. We're talking right here about the MVP, most valuable player. That's the sounder. That's the rundown for you. And let's give out the award. Justice, you've got the stats. You've got the lowdown. What's the deal? Yeah.
Well, Warwitch, and I'm going to have to say we commented on his excellent play at the filtration. Tonight's MVP of the game is Monster.
Oh, yes.
On the PHX team with a 2.44 kill-to-death ratio. Impressive.
What a ratio.
22 kills, 9 deaths, all of the filtration, doing a good job, doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it, my friend.
Doubles.
Kudos to Monster.
You know, absolutely. Monster really was in every place he needed to be. He even switched it up at the end And he busted out the flamethrower, and he lit the sub on fire. I mean, he just lit that thing on fire. Ouch. Way to get a suntan,
outstanding job. Ha! I tell you what, this PHX clan on the filtration side was just brutal. If you remember that one time at the beginning of the round, Exile went all filtration right off the bat, and they just got mown down. They had the numbers, they had the momentum, they had, they were attacking basically by surprise. A lot of PHX weren't there waiting for it, but Monster just taking them out. He got at least 3 or 4 kills that sequence, and really that just clinched this award for him. Outstanding play, PHX Monster.
Absolutely, and that guy right there deserves the MVP award, TSN's little trophy that we pass to him for not only good team play, but just remarkable skill in battle and remarkable bravery. Let's give that guy the Medal of Honor. And let's head over. Justice, you ready for the next factor? The X Factor. That's right, the award given by Justice. X Factor. That we hand out for that one person that really, as Justice likes to say, had the what play, Justice?
The clutch play, my friend.
That's right.
Clutch plays, good work in the mojo, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not the best fragger, maybe not the highest score, not the most kills, but a crucial, integral part to the team's success, and showing us that they have the ability to rise up and really lay down the smack. Lay the smack down, Warwitch, if you will.
Lay it down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's work it, buddy. Hit me with that sounder.
Let's play it again. The X Factor.
Oh, you already played it?
Playing it a second time. X-Files. Give us a rundown of the X Factor. Double X Factor. Let's do it again. Triple the X Factor tonight. Justice.
The trifecta.
Yeah. The award goes to who? TSA.
All right. Well, Warwitch, this is a close one, and I'm going to tell you why, my friend. We got almost a 3-way tie. We almost got a 3-way tie. Burn Zone from PHX, as you remember, working the Venom at the top of the stairs. Now, that was a huge, huge position for the PHX clan. Their steps defense was really tight, and I have to say that it's mostly due to Burn Zone and his awesome Venom. But he's not getting the X Factor award.
No, didn't.
Why? Because there's no clutch there. He has a superior position. He had good aim.
He was
but aim doesn't work into the X Factor.
He was only in first gear. He never did shift out of second gear. And while he might have been going 60 miles an hour in first gear, no clutch movement, denied. Ain't gonna happen.
No clutch movement whatsoever. Now, also, Warwitch, number 2 runner-up here, my friend, Exile Obliv. Exile Obliv coming out strong, my friend. 17-9, 17 kills, 9 deaths, a 1.89 ratio, by far the highest on the Exile team. The next closest is Disaster with a .67, Warwitch. So you can see that Obliv was definitely working overtime. But he's not going to get the X Factor award either. Good aim, too much MM1, however, robs him of the title, and that leaves us with only one more guy here. That man, Warwitch, you know very well. Most of us know very well.
I fear this man.
Exile Thorian.
Oh
yes. Oh, the big Thor. Thorina, taking it strong, and I'm thinking of specifically one play, Warwitch. Do you remember that exact play that I'm thinking about that showed an immense portion of clutch?
Could it have been the grenade toss?
That's how it's going. It is the grenade toss indeed, my friend. You are correct. Thorian,
you are correct, sir.
With a huge plant. I'll take huge plants for 1,000. Thorian with a big plant on the front of the boat, solo. And then able to defend it for a good 20 seconds by himself against 7 PHX members.
Not an easy
He had a big clutch grenade, took out a couple guys with his Thompson, but in the end, however, he did fall short, but you can't blame him for that. He did his part, and it was clutch. So this week's X Factor award goes to Thorian.
Absolutely. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to the MVP Monster. And congratulations to all the teams tonight, really walking away with some fantastic victories. The closest game that we saw, CK versus DT. Justice, I've got the lineup here of some of the games that occurred tonight. Why don't you start us off and tell us the final rundown of a few of the games that occurred here in Cal Invites this evening?
Well, right off the bat, I know from first-hand experience, DR takes down Paradigm Shift 3-1. Close match. Fell short at the end, but good game, DR, everything fair and square. Looking forward to play those guys again. Top quality clan. Then we saw, like you said, CK with a 3-2 victory over a surprising Death Touch team. Death Touch bringing it strong the last couple weeks. I don't think anybody really expected them to keep this close with CK, but proving a lot of critics wrong, my friend.
Absolutely.
CK taking the win. Death Touch showing us that they have the capacity to win.
You know...
Also, Abuse taking a 3-0 sweep over the Carpal Tunnel Cowboys.
Ah.
Why don't you take the rest? I'm going to load up and try to follow the action from the CALeague.com
Fantastic
website, where I can see the scores as well.
The final rundowns for you. Affliction versus Clenched Fist. Probably I wouldn't say surprising victory, but a lot of faith has been put in the Clenched Fist team of late. But when it came down to it, they just weren't able to squeeze the fist hard enough against Affliction, and Affliction walks away 3-1 victors. Cal Invites Sunday. Empire versus Professionals. Empire dominate 3-0 sweep and take the win in celebration. Congrats to them. Darkside versus Stickman. An initial powerful motion right out of the gate from the Stickman gives them an early point that leaves Darkside concerned. But Darkside, woken up, a sleeping giant, dropped the atom bomb, and 3-1. So the game is over. Finally, Phoenix versus Exile, 3-0 solid victory in favor of the Raging Phoenix. TSN, it's been fun, Justice. Any other rundowns, any other listings that you might have on the Cal Invites website?
Yeah, the website does seem to be down right now, but I've just been messaged from Doubles that S62 takes down the Hand of team 3-0, and that's sort of a shocker, but S62 bringing it strong this week, and starting the season off right. 1-0 record there, my friend.
Good way to start things off. S62, a team that faltered slightly there in the Cal Invites. Looks like they may have learned from their lesson and learned to incorporate a little more teamwork. They bring the action on MP Sub. Nice victory, 3-0 over Hand of. And all around, the closest game tonight, once again, CK versus DT, 3-2. But most of those games, 3-0, 3-1 sweeps. It's going to be really fun to watch some of these teams clash against each other. And Abuse versus Affliction, and Empire versus Darkside. All that goodness. It's really going to be a lot of fun to see what happens then when the Titans continue to meet in the battlefield.
Word to that, my friend. Next week's going to be a lot of exciting action. Tune in. Good game. Word.
Justice, thanks for being here. TSN Justice Paradigm Shift. My name is TSN Warwitch, and we are out of here. This concludes our Cal Invite coverage tonight. TSN brought to you by Speakeasy DSL. Thanks all for dialing in. Good fragging and good hunting. Watch the axis in the field. Good night.
Get ready. They're coming. My God! Did you hear that? Come, let's go! Schnell!